to his older children and his little girl who's about to turn 18. Now they feel like he abandoned them and stuff like that. 9 times out of 10, when you have a child and you have a certain amount of money, you have to pay the parent money. Now I don't know if this a cry for attention or they just mad because he done got married again, but it seemed like 9 times out of 10 they mad because he got married again. I'm not gonna talk about or read what they posted on Instagram about their daddy, but as a response, Brian McKnight had to say this. Then when we come back, we're gonna talk about what I think about the situation.
I have a concert tonight, and I got off the plane to some of the most heinous craziness I've ever seen in my life. That my oldest son, Brian, would post that I'm abandoning my children. And the reason why, I suppose, is because I have a new family. And I guess this stems from a post that I made the other day about my son, Jack, who I'm very proud of. Which isn't to say I'm not and haven't been proud of my other children, but I was proud of this one for the things that he did that day. But we'll get back to that in a second. Anyone who knows me knows over the last 20 years, 30 years now, as a matter of fact, that I've been there for my children every step of the way until recently. And let's be clear, my two sons are 30 and 27, not 12, not 13, but 30 and 27. Now, my daughter, I've been traveling about 17 hours and 27. Now, my daughter's about to turn 18. That's another story I'll get to in a second. I've never missed a day of child support. I've never done anything adverse to my children whatsoever. I've always been there. I've always been there with advice, whether they took it or not. I've always been the sounding board, and I've always been the one that tried to help them achieve whatever dreams they were wanting to reach out for. I guess one of my only faults is that I gave my children everything that I didn't have in the hopes that they would appreciate it, because I know how much I would have
So
appreciated.
you just heard an auto clip of Brian McKnight basically explaining his side of the story. Now, you always have two sides of the story. I think his children are lashing out from some odd reason because Brian McKnight had post. No, I'm not finna read it word for word, but he had post and he had said basically that you know, he been there for his children and he can't understand like not being there for blood. And his children felt the need to get online and say, hey, you kind of like abandoned us a whole long time ago. And when I do need to get in contact with you, hell, I have to basically talk through somebody else just to get to you. So he got online and made that video response that I just played for you guys. And for me, I'm like, whoa, these damn Hollywood children are very, very spoiled. I think it's okay. I think it's for real, for real. My personal opinion. Always remember, an opinion is like an asshole. Everybody has one. I think they are lashing out. They want more attention from their dad, and the fact that he has a whole new family, it's kind of like, damn, where do I fall in place with my dad? And how can you say X, Y, and Z when we don't even talk every day or we don't even talk every other day? I don't care if you are 40 years old, 60 years old. If your parent is still alive, you do want and need them. You might not need them financially eventually when you grow up, but you do need your parent. And even when I moved out of my mom's house, I talked to my mom like at least 3 times a week. It's 7 days in a week. Every other day I used to talk to her, if not every day. And um, well, that's when I moved out of my first apartment. But I think this small little spat that kind of like hit the internet, I think that for real, it's a cry for like not attention, but a cry for kind of like, dang, I'm just going to put it out there and tell the world like, hey, you're not perfect. You try and act like you are, but you're not. And The fact that they said that, it didn't need a video response for Brian McKnight, but I can tell you that was a great video response. He explained a lot that I would even attempted to say publicly, and instead of kind of like trying to prove to the world your side of things, I think I'll try my best to mend whatever relationship. Now, in the video, Brian McKnight said that his children, one of the boys, tried to break in the house. Not tried, he did, and he took his current wife picture, ripped it up, and all that stuff. So I can see how he want to distance himself from that situation, but at the end of the day, they're your children, and I know they are not children anymore, but there's something they're lacking, and if as by blood and you're their dad, I would start very extremely slow. I'm talking about maybe one phone call a week just to check on you and see how you doing. Do you want to go out for lunch? Something like that. I wouldn't, necessarily invite them to the house if they're gonna treat my current wife, my current husband differently. But it's something that they're lacking, and um, it's something like love or attention that they need from him, because I know how it is, like when people get in a whole nother relationship, whatever you had before, whatever that's going on, it just don't even matter anymore. So they probably feel like they are just on the back burner. But y'all comment, rate, and subscribe. Like the other blogger, PT blogger, said, you can't pick your family, and boy, I learned that the hard way. Comment, rate, and subscribe.